Now, the darker skin, say that you would like to make it, well, a darker skin version of the same man. You have, first of all, the portrait, you have the movement of the, you have the overall shape of the portrait, which is something like that, kind of square. I'm making it a lot more square than it is, obviously. And then the neck, which is kind of the cylinder here. And then you have the shoulder, which is, the shoulder is up here. Shoulder is up there. Then you have another angle, right angle here. The chest and a vertical line right in the middle of the portrait, right down there. So a vertical line down here. And then shadow down here. And then the shadow, this side of the portrait is more in the shadow than the left hand side, the right hand side. So this side of the portrait in shadow. Then you have ear down here, and the other ear, look, get the axis right. The eyebrows on that angle, nose on that angle, mouth on that angle, chin on that angle. Everything, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. 1, eyebrows 2, nose 3, mouth 4, and the chin 5. And then within those lines, we can get now the jaw, which is right here, the jaw. This is an important right angle. Then you have the neck moving down. Then under the eyes, you have the chest. Under the eye, you have the chest down here, down there, chest. And the nose, I said the nose is here. The eyebrows are here. Let's do the features first. Features, features, features. Nose, upper mouth, lower, jaw, jaw, chin, and a bit of a bigger, the features I've done them a lot bigger, so I'm increasing the head and give it a darker look, a darker tone. And within that tone, obviously it's a mess at the moment, but it's a deliberately messy drawing. I'll get into the features now. So first of all, to give it a tonal value, a dark tonal value, that's the most important. And the jaw down here, the ear, and the hair. And his head, skull. And as we normally do, I'll give it a swipe of this, give it a, first of all here, to see what's going on here, now, that, and here as well, same. Give it a certain look, a certain movement, moving about. Now, within those big shapes that I've done the portrait, now a little bit lighter here. The nose kind of goes in a, very straighter or a lighter light here, on the lighter light, I mean on the top of the nose here. Lighter, cheekbone lighter, jaw that way, hair, forehead, cheekbone, lower lip, within the lines that I have earlier on. So I'm following my own guidance that I've done at the beginning, the lines basically. I'm trying to follow that. It's not a very accurate description or description of what I'm seeing, but at least I'm trying to get those lines back. Then you have that right angle here, the shoulder, which is close. I had it quite far away, so I'm bringing it back. Darker lines, that's the chest moving down here. Give it a darker tonal value. Then the arm moves away. It looks like he's holding himself somewhere here. And upper lip, lower lip, jaw, chin first of all, jaw here, neck, darker shadow, okay, darkening, because I think he's kind of a darker skin person. I'm giving some darker lines here, darker shadows than what I would normally give, so a bit darker shadow. He's looking away or looking to me. I'm doing a certain look there. He's not looking that way, but I'm creating a certain look here. And cheekbone. Emphasize the cheekbone here. And the jaw. And the ear is on the horizontal line, is just under the nose, moves down in, and then at the end of the earlobe is under the mouth. So you got another ear, the end of the earlobe is here, lines, hairline, forehead, there you are, and again, soften those lines, softer. Not the best looking person, but it's my drawing. I need to fix. It's not the portrait, it's the, I need to keep going with that drawing. There, okay. Yeah, and some rib cage here, working on. Well, basically, the triangular under the nose, the upper mouth, lower lip, and the jaw here. Jaw is here, and the chin is down here, with lights. So create kind of a darker skin tone of value here. Forehead, earlobe, and the neck. Slightly less impactful, those darks. There. And a lighter skin tone here. There. Cheekbone. And keep those areas as light as you can. And he's got kind of moustache, doesn't he? So yeah, moustache here.
There's something there, is it moustache?
Like a goatee, kind of. Yes, he does. Yeah. And a little bit of a wider jaw here.
The right eye seems to be more prominent.
The right eye, yes. What I need to bring there on the right eye. His right eye or right eye?
Yeah, the one that you're just working on now.
Oh, this one. Yeah, that's his right eye, yes. Or our left. It's our left, but he's right. Yes, correct. A little bit more prominent. Lighter. Looking a bit menacing here. Maybe he's too tired by posing. So you can hear your own story here. And then a little bit more rounded or squarish forehead here. And here, and a little bit lighter on the on his neck, a little bit lighter on this area, and here the shoulder as well. Okay, yeah, he's not the prettiest looking man, but kind of a darker tonal value basically on the face. Okay. Oh, I hope so. Okay, let's improve that a little bit more, because that side of the portrait, it's completely, let's say, not, it's deliberately neglected, if you see. So that side of the portrait, so it's basically kind of, the artist just left it unfinished, because it just shows you, or shows us that, look, I'm choosing what to make important here on this portrait and what to leave it without much basically going on. And so I think that area is deliberately left unattended. Again, it's part of it gives a certain look to the portrait, getting those shadows here that I'm doing now. I'm looking here that you have brush strokes which moves this way, or you have that side of the chest which moves up in angular shape here as well. Get some dark charcoal here. I've got some dust from the sandpaper, and then move it and just move it sideways here on the portrait. And it warms up the drawing. Now, it's a term that I use, but obviously that's used in painting, warm colors, warm tones, but I think that works perfectly on drawing as well. So it kind of warms up. It makes it, instead of having a aesthetically clean white sheet, then you have that, that warming up of the tonal value here. All right. Okay, and kind of getting back with charcoal on parts of it. It's the nose, it's a little bit further up this way, kind of a triangular shape. As I said, the eye is very, it's left without much care, deliberately, and I think it's a, well, it looks abstract, but to reach to that abstraction, the artist has most likely spent many years doing that. You don't reach that level of abstraction without a huge body of work behind you and experience. So although, as I say, it looks very simple, but actually it's not simple at all, because to get to that simplicity, you have to get through a lot of work and a lot of practice, and very likely working on live models, because that particular drawing, I think, is from a live model. It feels like from a live model. You don't get that from a photo. Well, you can get it from photography, but it has to be a really professional photographer to get that type of person or a model, to get it onto a very natural pose. Okay, here I'm again darkening the sides. This very simplified side of the face, of the body, of his eyebrow and ear. I think the lips could go a little bit further up, which I'm going to do. But let's get that darker area here, and a little bit more jaw on this side. There. Dark on the armpit. That dark, you see those darks here, they do make sense because it's under the armpit, and obviously you can easily apply a lot more darks. People, I mean, the eye, or the experienced eye, expect darks on that area, so you better put them on. That's why the artist did put them on there. And the nose, it's fairly higher than what I've done here. The lips are softer. It's better softer like that, then keep them highlighted. It's like a triangular shape. Lower lip is further up, so I'm moving the lower lip up. Lower part of the mouth, lower lip, lower jaw. And now with the putty, I'm ready to put some highlights, but very carefully, because I don't want to make it as bright as that. I want the putty rubber to obliterate those warm tonal values that I've done yet, warm dark tonal values. I've got some hair here, so I can actually replicate with the putty rubber, create some hair. You can make hair, or you can create, or you can give the impression of hair with pencil, or even with putty rubber. The ear, the top of the ear is there, so I can put the ear where it needs to be, at least moving it up, or at the same horizontal line as the eye, at least Is that the eye? Well, the eye or the upper part of the eye. I can get some brighter tonal values here, which is basically all around the hair, and a little bit lighter on the jaw here. And you have the chin, and of course the light under the lower lip, on the lower lip, the light on the lower lip, the moustache. You can have moustache here, the cheekbone, highlight on the cheekbone, the nose, as I said, it's a bit further up. There's a fairly light area here between the nose and the cheekbone, and obviously he's got a goatee. There. That area is the area of the neck where the light, it's quite clear that it's been illuminated there. And that part of the upper bicep, which is under or at the same level as the mouth, a bit lighter here. Some putty rubber. Obviously, you expect the chest to be lighter because that's where the light illuminates, or the chest moves up, or it's basically showing his chest onto, or the way that he's basically standing or posing. You can see that it's been illuminated, that area, and part of the bicep, the upper part. Quite light here, and you have the ear, and that part, or the ear is actually in a shading, and you've got the forehead and the hair around the forehead here, lighter. Just lose those lines here, don't need them lines. Sorry. And the tip of the ear is right under the nose. So under the nose, and you got the ear there. Okay, a little bit of white of the eye and the shine on the eye. I'm just doing lots of details here, which I don't think I need, but basically I've got time. So I've got a bit more time and I can spend my time doing some more details here. And then cheekbone, and highlight on the forehead, and the top of the forehead is there. And you got the lower part of the lip, the lower lip basically, and the goatee. I need to bring up that goatee here because it's disappearing slowly. So it's basically a very soft line, but it's still there. Cannot ignore it. I got the nostrils. It's the way that the model is looking. You can see the nostrils from there. Don't want to emphasize this eye at all. I'm just keeping it as soft as I can. And the cheek, I think the jaw is quite, I think it's less wide than what I've done here, so I'm just trimming it. I think, obviously I'm overworking that sketch, but I think you can overwork a sketch and make it a finished work. If you know what I mean, is that you can take a sketch and make a study, and vice versa. Have a study or have a model which sits there for, I don't know, an hour or 45 minutes and do a sketch out of it. Instead of finishing and doing a study, you can do a sketch out of it. And neck where it meets the chest, here it's right, that line, that point here, it's right under the chin, under the jaw, chin there, here. Well, I think it's slowly getting to a close with it, because I think it's good enough. And I'm trying, or I'll try and work a little bit with the Conte Paris 1710 Pierre Noir. That it's basically compressed charcoal. So I'm thinking I could do a little bit more detail. Let's say on the hair. Say if you want a little bit more detail on the hair. Well, with charcoal, you cannot. It's harder, much harder to pinpoint it where you want the charcoal to be. So with the pencil, which is pretty much compressed charcoal, manufactured compressed charcoal, it's a lot easier with that. So yeah, here. On the nose, you got the upper lip, and lower lip here. And get a little bit the end of the jaw, which is somewhere here. I'm actually keeping the pencil quite light, although it looks like I'm putting pressure, but I'm actually not, because I'm putting my the pressure or the weight of my hand is actually on the paper mostly. So I'm not putting too much pressure at all. Actually, it looks like, but it's not. A bit darker there. Again, it gives a certain look. And a little bit darker here, because I like that dark that is already there. So I'm inspired by that, and I can do my own thing here. And obviously don't want to completely copy, but I think, again, that expertise, that quick sketch comes with a lot of work. Doesn't come with, obviously you have the person who's done that beautiful sketch got amazing talent, but talent is a lot, every talented person's got a lot of work behind that. So there we are, a bit lighter onto the earlobe, and some highlights on the chin down here. And in between the lower lip and the upper lip. Some lighter tone of value here, which is the jaw, which it connects with the neck. So a lighter tone of value than what I have here. So I use the putty rubber and I can soften that area. I think it's a bit turbulence there. So I need less turbulence. I need a little bit more of a softer edge. And again, I'm tempted to get rid of that area because I overworked it. So yeah, get rid of that side of the face. And I'm using the putty that way because I've used the brush that way. So kind of makes sense, if you know what I mean. If you use a putty, if you use a pencil or the brush vertically, then everything else needs to follow. So is that you need to be consistent with the use of the materials that you're using. Charcoal, pencil, putty rubber, they all have to follow the same logic, the same actual direction. What I'm measuring here is the jaw, the end of the jaw, which is under the nose, end of the jaw, under the nose, it's there, so it's correct where it is, a bit more inwards, the jaw, and then you have the earlobe starting here, then you have the zygomatic or the cheekbone, earlobe here, eyebrow there, tip of the forehead, white hair. Now we don't know if it's white hair, but you know what I mean. Is that you're simplifying it. It's quite light, so it could be white, could be grey, it doesn't matter. And bring back a little bit more, although I got rid of it, but I think I can bring a little bit more information, at least the upper eyelid. And obviously the eyebrow. Cheekbone, ear. All right, I think it's ready to go. Huh? Just a bit of light on the nose and a kind of a straighter line. Cheekbone. Cheekbone here. Highlight on the cheekbone. Okay, I've given it a really bad attitude, this guy here on me. He looks menacing. On me, okay. As I said, it's fantastic to work with other artists, because not only you learn techniques, but you learn also to see how the artists see. You learn to choose the beautiful poses. That's not easy to get, because lots of people take pictures of their loved ones or some art or some basically friends or family, whatever, and they're not good pictures. So when you work from the pictures which they don't give, they give very limited information, just a likeness. But then, where is the pose? Where is the artistic eye of the photographer? A lot of times it's not there. Well, because you're taking them quickly, and it's on the phone. Phone camera. Everybody is using phone camera nowadays. So you need that. You need that. You need some to see what is interesting, and then you get that very quickly and very easily from other artists. All right, now I think a little bit lighter here, because I've done too many highlights, and I think I need to soften them, push them back with the brush and the dust, and let the dust run. Let the dust run over the half of the face. All right, okay, I'll see you next one. All right, because I did enough with that. The more I keep it, the more I work on it, the more complicated it becomes, and the more unnecessary details are there. What's the date today? Please, let me see. 8. No, 7.